Hi everyone. Today I have a really special guest with me, Deepak Saini, the author of the book The Urban Buddha. Right? So this book has an intersection between Eastern and Western practices when it comes to meditation and spirituality. He is also the founder of a gaming company called Sahaj, which has now launched a new game called One. And he's been in tech for a really long time. So Deepak, now to you. You've been into meditation for a really long time and you've been a meditation trainer as well. Yeah. So how did your journey start? How did you get into meditation? How do you feel about this entire process?
Well, first of all, let me start with thank you for inviting me. This is a privilege, and thank you very much for getting me on your show. Regarding the journey, the spiritual journey, well, my faintest memories go back to my childhood when I used to help my mother in her puja, and I was really, really small. I think maybe 4 years, 5 years, somewhere there, very early on. And the only thing which was important to me was to keep her happy. And that gave her some happiness. So I used to just assist her. And then something happened. On one fine day, I was sitting with her and she was singing an arti. And suddenly I saw in a picture, Goddess Saraswati moved.
Okay.
And I was like, what is this? And I just shouted out of joy and pointed it to her that, this is happening. And she said, okay. And I was like, okay, this is a possibility. It looks like a very normal business to her. There is something there. So that was my first, delight, or I could say wonder, that there's something beyond mundane. There's something better.
Yeah.
And then some years later, great Shankaracharya, he visited our town. And he was placed just next to our house. There was a school building.
Okay.
And I went to see him for his darshan. And I saw this man sitting on a podium just in bliss. It was a surreal moment for me. I said, wow.
How did you feel at that moment?
That moment is etched in my memory as something which is fascinating beyond words. It's like, how can I be like that? How can I be so free? So I didn't even know the meaning of free. It was like, wow, this is good.
Yes.
So that was the oldest memories I have. Then things happened.
Okay.
One thing led to the other. Eventually, I find my way when I was in graduation first year. After trying multiple things, pujas, being a good person, helping people out, just to know that it's not going to save me. Tried Arya Samaj, few other things. And then eventually I landed up with meditation and the heartfulness way. That was when I was 17, 18 years of age.
Okay. So for 12 years you had a journey.
As far as I can remember, yeah.
Yeah. True.
So that's how it's all started.
Okay. So then when did you find out, okay, this is the way that I want to follow meditation? Because like for our viewers, many of them have tried meditation in one form or the other, and they found it difficult to continue. For those listeners, what would you suggest?
I think what matters is, what are you looking for? The inquiry in my mind, and I didn't even know that, was to seek something beyond mundane. Now, when I look back, that looks like pretty lofty, but maybe it's because I'm able to articulate it now.
Okay.
The urge to find something bigger than myself has been there.
Okay.
It manifested in singing artis. It manifested in helping people out to see that's the best way out.
Okay. How did you feel after each of these?
So one of the incident which again is very clear in my mind is like when I was thoroughly disappointed with artis and pujas, when Mother Saraswati never smiled again, I was quite frustrated.
Okay.
And I must have been 8, 9 years, very young. And then I wondered, okay, this is not going to happen. What should I do next?
Okay.
The Shankaracharya has come and went, and I thought, okay, then I learned there's something called sadhu,
Okay.
which means you have to give up your family and go into, Haridwar and up in this. I'm from Roorkee, so you see sadhus by dozens.
Yeah.
And then I realized, okay, that's not me. I can't do that. So what do I do?
Mhm.
And in my little mind, I said, okay, you know what? To be a good person could be a good idea because all our Hindi movies say so.
Yeah.
My mom's stories used to talk about those things.
Mhm.
I thought, okay, that's a good deal.
Okay.
So then I focused on just being good. So any act which I could do
Mm-hmm.
to help other, I used to just take it up.
Okay.
I vividly remember I was coming back from school. I must have been in like standard 6, I think by then.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a blind man sitting by the bridge.
Okay.
I helped him cross the bridge
Mm-hmm.
road. He was sitting on the bridge and
Okay.
side of the road. And I felt very happy about it. And I like,
Mhm.
okay, I did a good job. Next day, when I was returning, I found the same guy sitting exactly at the same spot.
Okay.
And there was this compulsion. What do we do now?
Okay.
If this guy is going to sit here every single day, I can't take his responsibility of making him cross the road. But if I miss this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to really feel bad about it.
So what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I just went straight home and I
Okay.
inferred
Mm-hmm.
there is some problem in the thesis.
Okay.
Being a good man
Okay.
is not the ultimate thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I dropped the charade.
Okay.
I figured out this is not the way. Something else have to be found.
Okay.
So I helped whenever I could without any compulsion, and I was happy about it.
Okay.
So
So I think that is a question, right? When should you? Where is a compulsion? How do you recognize the compulsion? As someone who's been practicing meditation really often, you'd be able to identify it fast. But for beginners, how would they identify, okay, this is a compulsive behavior?
when this thing was happening, I was in standard 6th. So there was no meditation. There was no question on meditation at that point. I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know right now what is meditation, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think the only thing was honesty and authenticity.
Okay.
That was the only thing.
Mhm.
And a scientific inquiry.
Okay.
Not believing because somebody says so,
Uh-huh.
or walking the path and seeing it for yourself. I actually, in standard, when I think it was 11th or 12th, I started practicing Arya Samaj.
Okay.
Read the Anand Saraswati ji. I was superbly impressed by his writings.
Mm-hmm.
And then started waking up at 3 o'clock and start doing, all that was asked of me by my
Mm-hmm.
then preceptor.
Yeah.
Did that for around 2 years and figured out that's not working either.
Okay. How did you figure out that's not working?
Nothing changed inside me. There was
Okay.
no feeling. There was no happiness. There was no peace. There was again a mechanical nature of the things which overpowered. There was initial euphoria or there was initial novelty of the process, if you may say so. But beyond that, it did not stay.
Okay.
It felt nice,
Okay.
but it became a burden
Mm-hmm.
and it became dry.
Okay.
Then you realize that it's a dead leaf. There's no life in it. At least for me.
Yes.
There's so many people. There's so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
How can one mother be so stringent that this is the only way to reach me?
That is very true. But say we wanted to help our viewers to start meditation, to get initiated into it. What would be the first, like the beginner level meditation that you would suggest they do?
I'm practicing heartfulness for almost like 25 years now.
Okay.
And I can vouch for it that the changes it has produced in me, intellectual satisfaction came later, experience came first.
Okay. Okay.
Which is fascinating because in all my earlier attempts, it was intellectual to start with and nothing to end with.
Okay.
My simple recommendation is first be honest. Second is try out with honesty.
Okay.
With full dedication.
Okay.
If it works for you, pick it up, don't leave it.
Okay.
If it doesn't,
Mhm.
find something else.
Okay.
Don't settle for anything less than perfect.
Okay.
Because if you do,
Mhm.
then you're compromising on your purpose.
Okay. So do not settle for less than perfect. Lovely. So how did you get to writing the book, The Urban Buddha?
Urban Buddha, this is my Guru Dakshina to my Guru.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This started in 2013, somewhere
Okay.
there,
Mm-hmm.
and it took 7 years to finish.
Okay.
The book is basically written as a philosophical novella,
Okay.
which means it's a fiction,
Mm-hmm.
but it is imbued with Vedantic philosophy.
Yes. The Upanishads and the Vedas are spoken about. Yes. Yes.
And it's not like one linear narrative.
Mhm.
There are characters in it which are
Yeah.
very delicately, designed
Mm-hmm.
to represent all views.
Yeah, and it actually is very relevant to today's world. And it's the discussions in today's world as well. And it's very well, like put out, like all the reasonings and all of that.
That took time because the whole idea of writing this book was, with the grace of my master,
Mm-hmm.
nothing to claim that, it's like you've achieved or reached, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been blessed. I
Yeah.
found my way.
Mm-hmm.
And I found my way by a scientific inquiry method.
Okay.
It was not like a random belief. I'm born in a Hindu household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I tried Sufism also in my way.
Okay.
So it is all experiments, scientific inquiry, honest inquiries that led to this.
Okay.
An intellect
Mm-hmm.
in judgment of what is right, what is not, what is not just going by dogmas,
Mm-hmm.
which led to the experience and sure knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
What is the path for me?
Okay.
That is, I think, that honesty each one of us should have to ourselves.
Yeah.
This book
Mm-hmm.
is a reflection of that.
Okay.
The 4 characters in this book are not 4 different characters. They're
Okay.
the same person in a way.
Okay.
They're 4 sides of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
There's an intellectual personality, Shastri, presented by Shastri.
Yeah.
There is a personality which is given into what beliefs and dogmas are, like
Okay.
Dada in the character
Yeah.
in this book. And there is scientific, medical aspect also brought in by Dr. Ravikant.
Okay.
And then there is something more pure
Mm-hmm.
represented by Gina in the book.
Yeah.
And while the narrator observes,
Okay.
it's all one person.
Ah, I see. So now you've spoken about robots, right? In part of machine or man. What taking technology as it is today with AI and taking what you have said in the book as well, how do you think it is going to go forward? Like with meditation, spirituality, like is it going to be easier to take the path into spirituality, or is it going to be more like what Dr. Ravikant says and like more like machine learning and only like 1 + 1 is 2 and you don't have the other linears and all the unseen probabilities?
I think the question goes back to, what is consciousness?
Mm-hmm.
If consciousness, if you define it just as a mere permutation and combination of multiple things, my learnings, then we're talking something else.
Okay.
But if consciousness is taken an intimate experience,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to something deeper,
Mm-hmm.
then the question is very different.
Okay.
In Vedas or in Upanishads,
Mhm.
there are 4 distinct parts
Okay.
of a human self.
Mm-hmm. So are these the 4 parts in the book?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's Man, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahankar.
Okay. Okay.
And these have different functions,
Mm-hmm.
of which I would like to highlight one, which is Man or
Okay.
Manas.
Mm-hmm.
What is Manas? Manas is a computer software.
Mhm.
For example, if you compare CPU of a
Mhm.
machine, of a computer with brain,
Okay.
then the OS that runs it is your mind.
Mhm.
It is purely a mathematical analytical tool.
Okay.
The way I see it, AI is an extension of this,
Yes.
where it learns on itself,
Mm-hmm.
which mind also does.
Yes, definitely.
But mind is not equal to consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a different faculty.
Okay.
So it will help us brilliantly
Mm-hmm.
if trained right,
Okay.
like computers did 50 years back.
Mm-hmm.
It will definitely catapult us further.
Mm-hmm.
But will it replace consciousness? I don't think so. There are different dimensions. There are different entities.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Is
a
it
room
because
for
of the
it.
emotion? But in like say the movie, like the robot movie, right? Like they have emotions too. Do you think that is possible in the future for robots to emote?
They can emulate
Okay.
uh, or they can copy us.
Okay. Like, okay, if someone says this, I should get
They
angry.
can learn on it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they know if, all right, being angry means this kind of reaction.
Uh-huh.
Probably that can be learned.
Okay.
But what is anger?
That is protecting yourself from something negative.
Yes. So what is anger? Anger is something which is beyond learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's experiential.
Yes.
It is beyond even experience also. It's about an awareness
Mhm.
of the way your symbiotic relationship with your environment has changed.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
That is very different domain. Very, very different domain. There's often a debate that, okay, you know what, dopamine secretes and you feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ravikant asks a question in the book. Okay, is the experience creating dopamine release or dopamine release creating an experience?
What is your answer to that?
I have an answer, but I leave it to everybody to think about it. Well, if you ask so, I think the cause is the feeling, the
Okay.
experience.
Okay.
The manifestation in the physiological system is by the mechanism of release of this
Hormones.
hormones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
definitely.
if done, that's a natural process. So it's like um, it's a thing that is produced to give signal. Okay, this has happened.
Yes.
Not otherwise. But you are a doctor, probably you should opine on it.
No. My question is going to be, so now talking about dopamine, now let's talk about pleasure and happiness. What would you say is the difference, and how do we navigate the current world knowing, okay, pleasure is this and happiness is this? We want to live in like happiness, have pleasure once in a while and not overdo it.
There's no problem in having pleasure.
Uh-huh.
It is like knowing when to stop.
That is the thing. that is the difficulty, because if you're already, I find that if you are doing meditation, then it's easy to assess, okay, this is enough now, this, it's done. But when, you're just going in the flow of things and you're not very aware of your own body and your own emotions, and, you're not too aware of it. It's just happening. You're just reacting mostly. At that point of time, it's a little difficult to assess, okay, this is enough,
Absolutely, it's not straightforward. I would say that again, it starts with an honest inquiry.
Okay.
At the heart of it,
Uh-huh.
that's what it is. What I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the access of my personality? Is it outside me or inside me?
Do you think technology can help us with these questions?
Anything in today's world, or ever since man started to learn to light fire,
Mm-hmm.
if used properly, is a good tool.
Okay.
Let's say if you are researching on something,
Mm-hmm.
it's a brilliant tool if you have AI or if you have search engines and things like that.
Definitely.
But that can also, you can also learn how to make a bomb
Yeah.
using the same tools. So it's not the
Definitely.
tool which is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It is your integrity and honesty with yourself, authenticity with yourself, which is the core of everything. Now, coming back to the question of pleasure and happiness,
Mm-hmm.
one basic difference is pleasure is fleeting. It
Okay.
is just satiation of an instinct,
Mm-hmm.
of a need.
Okay.
At the lowest level, it is a satiation of, basic needs, survival instincts
Mm-hmm.
and things. And then it grows over us. And then you get into the realm of mind.
Okay.
And then things go out of control
Mm-hmm.
because there's no limit to it.
Yes,
There's a
definitely.
limit to how much you can eat food or indulge in other things. But mental stimulus, there's no limit. There is no limit till you go mad. That is the problem with the pleasure aspect.
Yeah, no, so how do we help our viewers? Because now most of the viewers are younger children, middle aged, and they have social media right now and they have a lot of comparison. So as you're having the comparison, like for example, this may be a little controversial. Say the Ambani wedding just happened, right? People are seeing all the photos, they are seeing everything. So for some people, comparison does happen. Hey, they are wearing that, even I want it. They had this food, even I want it. And that's not a bad thing, but how do you control it so that it doesn't control you? Your thoughts don't control you. I mean, Ambani is obviously a different like league, but in general,
No,
like the
I think
regular
it's a fine
comparisons.
example. It
Yeah.
could be Ambani or the neighbor next door.
Yes.
I wish I had a remedy for this, but I would like to put it this way. It's not like no one knows the answer. Everybody knows the answer,
Mhm.
which is like, don't look outside, look inside. These are,
Yeah.
every person knows this.
Definitely.
But the question is, how do you implement this? I think the problem comes like, all right, this is all fine, I understand, but still I can't just stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
What do we do about it?
Yeah.
To answer to that is close your eyes and meditate
Okay.
and spend some time, invest some time in it.
Okay.
That is the only way, and that will be hard.
Yeah, like
Very
ask
hard.
yourself the questions.
No.
Hmm?
It's like this.
Hmm.
Whenever I, recommend meditation to someone,
Mm-hmm.
and he says that this is the hardest thing.
Okay.
Why? Because I do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And to do nothing is the hardest thing. Now, how do you really compete with that argument?
Definitely.
What is being asked of you is to just sit with your eyes closed and do this day in and day out and see what the result is. And people find it difficult. The way the mind is trained, it inhibits them to do
Okay.
that. Unfortunately, there is no other way. If you need to build your muscles, you need to hit the gym. If you need to learn to swim, you need to go into the pool, wet your feet,
Definitely.
swallow some water.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it boils down to the commitment.
So, okay. So, as adults say, we have a commitment, right? Like, okay, once you have come to a certain age. Now, children, how about them? Like, say, one child likes language, one child likes maths. The one that likes maths does not like language. The one that likes language does not like maths. But they have to learn everything in school. And if they don't do it, the teacher, says whatever they need to. And then they start comparing themselves at that age itself, at a very young age. They're like, oh, they're getting like really good marks, or like, they're doing really well. The teacher is being so nice to them, they're not being nice to us, or even like siblings. Oh, my mother likes that sibling more than me. How do you deal with that? Or how do they deal with that? They're younger children. We can't tell them to meditate. But how would we navigate this?
The way, I'm no expert, but no two leaves are alike,
Definitely.
though they are of the same tree.
But so they've learned to compare from a very young age. Do you think that we should stop that?
Of course, absolutely. See, anything which helps them to catapult further. It's not about being good or bad in something.
True.
It's about cultivating your ability.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if something can influence one sibling, the habit of one sibling can influence other sibling positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say getting up early in the morning
Definitely.
or going out and playing or coming back or being disciplined.
Yeah.
Those are the good things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But to compare it with the results,
Yeah.
yes, I think some of it may be helpful,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to intelligently take a call that how much of salt should be there in the preparation. Because if it's over, you can't eat it. If it's under, you can't eat it. Similarly, little bit of, this and that is important
Mm-hmm.
for the overall holistic growth,
Yes, definitely.
but not more and not less. There's no formula for it.
Yeah. The thing is, there's not more and not less. So I think that is where most people get, disturbed, like the internal like system. And that's why we have so many cases of anxiety and depression these days.
Dr. Lakshmi, what I really feel, it all boils down to the same thing.
Mm.
Your integrity, your honesty.
Okay.
Helicopter parenting, we all
Mhm.
know.
Uh-huh.
We all know it's like, you're driving on a superhighway and you're trying to parent also. That's not going to work.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel there's a pill, you pop it up and things are going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
You have to, and you can tell better than I could. You have to give time.
Yeah,
There's no other way. You have
definitely.
to poke them and ask them what happened.
Yeah.
That bonding has to be created. That is the base.
Yes.
Once that base, that bridge is created,
Mhm.
you can supply anything on that highway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's more of getting gifts rather than giving time.
Okay.
The modern problem.
Okay.
Amazons and Flipkarts, where
Yeah.
gifts are coming to the level that kids don't even realize that money is something to be worked for.
So there's another dopamine hit for them.
Yes, it's a cheap dopamine hit.
Yes.
So it seems like meditation. Okay, if you have if you are given, most of the parents, okay, you have to sit 2 hours
Okay.
and be with the child,
Mm-hmm.
or get away with ordering one gift from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say, but people may choose the latter.
Yeah.
It is simple time saving and because they have meetings to attend.
Yes.
I'm not complaining. I'm also there.
Yeah.
That is the sad reality.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, in meditation, sitting for half an hour, 45 minutes, eyes closed, doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're thinking you have to send that an email and you have to buy that and then that has to happen. That guy has not responded. Revenue is not working, vagara, 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 and all this kind of stuff. Hey, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So there's the same thing. Where is that patience, that poise
Mhm.
is important. And to get that poise, you need to pause.
Okay. Is there any suggestion that you could give to help in the pause? Not to stay in the pause, but to help start the pause.
I invite your viewers to take a session of heartfulness,
Okay.
guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
See it for yourself.
Okay.
Do few sessions.
Mm-hmm.
If it produces that experience, grab it.
Okay.
Don't leave it. If it does not, there are many other methods. Go and try them.
Mm-hmm.
Try them with sincerity.
So sincerity is the
To me,
main-
there is
yes.
nothing else in life
Mm-hmm.
but your sincerity. To everything.
Mhm.
To yourself,
Mhm.
to others, to your family,
Mhm.
to him, to the world. It's just one thing. How sincere you are.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what matters. Where sincerity is there, purity will come automatically.
Okay.
If purity is going to come,
Mm-hmm.
all your best is going to gush into that area. It's like a vacuum being created
Uh-huh.
and the force will come.
Okay.
Once that happens, you have done your job.
Okay.
If it's going to succeed,
Yeah.
it is supposed to succeed. If it's
Yeah.
not, at least you can say, I tried.
Yeah.
That's about it. It is
Yeah.
karma yoga in its action.
Yeah. So be sincere in everything that you are doing.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
serious, but sincere.
Sincere. Sincere. With the intent, how should your intent be?
Yes, intent should be pure. Intent
Yes.
should be, my God, I got to do this. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
overwhelmed, but it's like,
Mhm.
this is my puja, this is my sadhana, this is my baby.
Yeah.
I got to do this.
Uh-huh.
It could be writing a book.
Mhm.
Maybe it takes 7 years, so what?
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it's just washing dishes. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. The satisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
the peace it's going to release is going to be the same.
Okay. So the sincerity should be there. That is the main takeaway. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything that you'd love to tell our viewers?
Well, I think I've spoken enough. I would just say that we often confuse between urgent and important, cliche again, but that's the reality. Sometimes important things needs to be attended on urgent basis. Meditation is a need of the hour.
Yeah. How are you finding the people who are coming to you for training? Are there many people who are coming post-COVID?
Yes, there's influx is more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Not everybody is coming for spiritual training.
Okay.
There are people who are coming for help also,
Okay.
which means anxiety disorders,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
depression issues, family issues,
Mm-hmm.
health issues.
Okay.
There's a plethora of things.
Yeah.
Good sign is many youngsters are coming for pure spiritual need.
Oh, lovely. What is the age group of the youngsters who are coming?
Just pass out from colleges,
Oh, lovely.
fresh into the jobs
Mm-hmm.
or into their final years of colleges.
Yeah.
That's very fascinating.
And they're coming for spirituality?
Yes. They
Oh.
are.
That's very nice.
It's very encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very nice. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Deepak. Please do get his book, The Urban Buddha. It's so amazing. I have read it and it talks about 4 people, like the Manas and please tell me.
Buddhi,
The
Chit, and
Manas, the
Ahankar.
Buddhi, the Chit and Ahankar. Yeah. And it is a conversation between them and what goes on. And since there's so much conversation about spirituality these days, it actually gives you a clear view about how you can see some things and how you can see it in one way or you can see it in the other way. It's a very interesting conversation that I'd really suggest you do read. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.